The Texas Weather Connection with meteorologist Robert Luna. From spring to summer, fall to winter, stay ahead of severe weather with your meteorologist Robert Luna.
And a perfect day to start spring break with temperatures in the upper 80s to near 90 degrees, and we are officially at the high of 88 degrees out there. I love telling people about the weather, talking about maybe the different weather patterns we get. We get into rainy patterns here in San Antonio. We get into warm patterns. We've gotten some cold weather this year. Temperatures in the 60s as we go through Tuesday. Welcome to the Texas Weather Connection here on Anthem Television on this exciting Friday. Lots of great things going on. And I'm meteorologist Robert Luna. Also with me, we have
meteorologist Brian Silva
and meteorologist Sergio Lozano.
What a weekend we have, and it's been weekend after weekend, and it's going to continue. Let me explain what I talked about. Break started, spring break ended with St. Patrick's Day, Palm Sunday, Easter Sunday. Now it's
Valero, Texas
Open, Eclipse weekend, and then next week, OT Strawberry Festival.
Doesn't stop.
Right into Fiesta. First weekend, second weekend of Fiesta. Cinco de Mayo.
When does it end?
Mother's Day weekend, and we can probably get one from there.
By that time, it's summertime.
Exactly.
Hopefully by that time we're not talking about 100.
Oh,
no, I'm not talking about 100 just yet. No.
A lot of people coming into the community already. Yes. You have to build it up out there. A lot of people coming in, even I was flying in last night. We're always talking about some clips from here.
Full plane, son.
Full plane. There was not one empty seat on that airplane.
So today the weather is nice out there. We got pretty much just a few clouds out there, but looking for the eclipse. That's what everybody wants to know.
So the forecast models, we've going through the week. Yeah. Everybody's been talking a lot of clouds, but the models, the mid-range models, sometimes are they low clouds, mid-layer clouds, upper layer clouds, and don't do such a good job as we start looking at what's happening within this area, this area.
Yeah,
So,
meteorology's come a long way, but we're just not quite there yet. We have to wait for these higher resolution models that are just now coming into play. And we have reason to be a little bit more optimistic. Yeah. It's been doom and gloom for the last couple of weeks. So reason to be optimistic. I'm feeling a little bit better about it.
One thing I wish the Weather Service would do, and maybe they'll do it, we have hurricanes coming. They launch extra weather balloons.
Yeah.
We have severe weather happening, extra weather balloons. That would be a great thing to do to fine tune everything.
Yeah, because all that data gets put into our computer models and it just helps us out. So yeah, absolutely. That would have been a great idea.
I did just something that I thought about, because one of these days I do have a weather balloon at my house, and on one of these shows I'm going to bring that weather balloon.
Yes.
Oh,
So it's pretty exciting. I grew up in Delaware.
looking at, temperatures hovering around 90 for Monday, but again, they're further away from the map, so hopefully that's good in terms of the cloud cover. We hopefully see a good break that they'll have great viewing conditions out there.
And that Del Rio area, the southern part, they're going to be closer. The south part of Del Rio is the place to be, heading towards Eagle Pass, because they're going to be closer to that 4-minute mark.
Yes.
You get north part of Del Rio, it quickly drops down to
Right.
about
I
3
think
minutes.
looking just right there in Del Rio, I mean, we're looking at about 3 minutes, 26 seconds of totality time. Again, just, a couple
Well,
of
yes.
it makes a huge difference.
You get a little further east of the hill country. It's just north of Uvalde through Lakey, Concan. They're going to be in the 4.5 minute path, around 4 minutes, 26 seconds going to last. And Kerrville.
I mean, but if you notice though, we do have up there a little bit cooler, obviously up in the hills, but at the same time, you notice that we have a little bit of a rain cloud there, right? We're hoping that the models continue to improve, and we hopefully will get away from those rain chances. I think we're still going to see rain on Monday, but maybe later on into the day. Yes.
And the Del Rio temperature 91, Kerrville temperature 81, because the cloud cover may be lasting a little bit longer, a little more humidity. Of course, a little bit cooler in the hill country as well. But a lot of people are going to be in this path from Eagle Pass to Del Rio, through Uvalde, Concan, Lakey, up to Kerrville, Bernie, even the Bernie, north part of San Antonio. You're talking thousands and thousands of people out there, hopefully not on the side of the road. Find parks. Let's be safe.
Yes.
In what
Plan
you do.
ahead, because it is going to be.
I mean, the gas lines are starting to get pretty big.
Already. Now we head up to the Austin area. Still cloud cover in the morning, but hopefully breaking up. Maybe slightly better rain chance. So you want to get further west up towards maybe Atlanta in that area. But if you get into Austin, look at there, only lasting about a minute.
A little bit over a minute and a half. I mean, again, it's the further away you are from that center line, just even a few miles, it's going to make a huge difference in terms of the totality time.
Yeah, so if I was living in Austin, I definitely want to hop on 290, go west, maybe toward Johnson City, Landhill, Burnett, up there. Those are going to be your areas. But you got to remember, Austin's kind of like a baseball too. A lot of people from Houston are going to be stopping in Austin and then getting up that morning, the drive. But we'll see how it goes up in Austin. It's going to be pretty interesting.
And we look down here for our area and notice that we put Helotes, because if we put downtown San Antonio, we're not totality.
Exactly.
So we're looking again, kind of the same. Looking at temperatures in the low 80s. And we're closer to the Gulf too, so we may have that chance of rain. We're going to hope that pushes back. I think it's going to hold off towards the afternoon, but we're looking at that cloud cover as being our main issue at this point.
So one of the areas we do want to talk, you look at Helotes, 2 minutes, almost 45 seconds of totality, but you get to Balcones, Castle Hills. These are areas maybe lasting at the most 1 minute.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
And 30 seconds, the airport around the same thing.
Yeah.
And you get downtown San Antonio, even just going down I-10 just south of Balcones.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Fresno Road. Like, if you live on Fresno Street or whatever, south of there, forget about it.
Yeah, you're not going to have that totality. You have that darkness.
Those people are going to be traveling northwards to see that eclipse.
So make plans. Make plans that we're gonna want to. Don't wait till an hour before, because it's going to be too late at that point.
So as we look at the Texas Weather Connection, because we are the Texas Weather Connection, we are, again, down south, the Rio Grande Valley, they're not going to see totality. They're going to see maybe something similar to what we saw in October. Houston area, again, not in the path of totality.
Yeah.
You've got to be from Del Rio, Uvalde, up to just north of San Antonio, Kerrville, and then keep going towards just north of Austin, up towards the Waco area, south of Dallas, and then Waco's has another big area, a lot of people from Dallas, and then it goes northeastward towards the Texarkana area and through Arkansas.
And it's just amazing. It's quick. So you can't forget about this, folks. I mean, you got to be there, get there early, set up, wait it out, and experience it. And then what TxDOT has been telling a lot of people is just to sit it out, because they don't want everybody to be like, okay, it's over, hop in your cars, and that's what's going to cause some issue. So just take it easy. You got, plenty of time, and just kind of wait it out and fill it out. I think that's the best way to go.
I mean, and again, the conditions across the entire state right now, they're nice. We're hoping for that, come Monday, but based on what we're seeing, some parts of the state may be talking about severe weather. We're just talking about hoping not to get rain here.
Yeah.
Other parts of the state, especially up there in the Dallas area, we may be talking about we're fine viewing, but at the same time,
Got to keep an eye on the weather.
Yes.
Some of that heating from Del Rio, you saw that 90 temperatures. It's going to start heating up the atmosphere, creating maybe the right conditions, naval disturbance coming through, and we are expecting big rains as we go through the week for the northern part of Texas.
And we really need the rain. We got to root it up. It's not during
That Monday early. You know, after the like 5, 6 o'clock Monday.
Let it happen.
Let it happen.
Yeah, let everybody get home safely. We don't need the wet roads. A lot of people are going to be out on the road, but again, please be safe. Find a park, find a nice place away from the roadways. No, one thing they're recommending is do not take your pets out there because there's going to be so many people at these parks that it's just not safe. You're talking hundreds and hundreds of people at one little park, another park, another park.
Yeah, and the animals might not be accustomed to, for, day turning into night. So, they might have some interesting behavior.
Exactly. And my wife was pointing that out, that people didn't talk about it. So we got some great things to talk about, but luckily, maybe better news on the weather forecast for Eclipse Monday. And hopefully you'll be in the path of totality. So we got some other great things coming up on the Texas Weather Connection after the break.
Anthem TV, a free streaming digital community. With a click of a mouse or a tap on your phone, you have instant access to free TV shows, movies on demand, music, pay-per-view events, and so much more. Download Anthem TV on your smartphone, smart TV, or any streaming device and enjoy instant access. Subscribe and download Anthem TV today.
Welcome back to the Texas Weather Connection here on Anthem Television. And we had a great week, another one filled with severe weather.
And one that, again, I believe we were at the southern edge again, and we got it.
They call that Tell and Charlie. When we're studying meteorology, that's one of the catchphrases that people use. And that storms on the tail end of the line tend to be the most severe. And guess what that went through? Your house.
It was chaotic for a good 4 or 5 minutes in there. I mean, we had hail. It sounded like somebody was beating a drum on all over the roof. We had roofers out the next day. I mean, it was bad. We had some crazy wind, and my kids were all, it's flooding outside. We it's flooding. Where's flood out here? And you look at our street, it was just a river. It was just a deluge of just rain, hail, wind. It went from 0 to 100 just like that.
And these storm systems that come in at this time of the year, they move very quickly. Yes. That storm was moving, I think, 45 miles an hour. So, I mean, you don't really have a lot of time. A lot of people look at the radar and they're just like, oh, we got 30 minutes. It's like, no, you don't. You really need to prepare. And that's why those warnings, when they get issued, it's you got to act immediately.
Right. What was interesting about that storm, usually we talk about them building west of Del Rio in the mountains.
Right.
And that's what I was looking for. It's like, okay, we got those conditions, maybe heating of the day, but then we had all these clusters of little showers, storms developing east of Del Rio, and then you saw that line slowly build, but then that one down south, just like you said, that's the one that caught fire, intensified quickly, and this one went down Petranco Road.
They really did. Yeah.
Right into the Ingram area, and then it crossed over 410. And I think once it got a little bit north of downtown, the hail kind of tapered off in terms of the size. We still had some hail though, but it was pretty severe, pretty quick.
Yeah, and those are intermittent scale cycles. So these storms pulse up, they pulse down. See the radar in there? I mean, look at from a meteorological standpoint. I mean, this thing was full blown severe storm. So,
and our attention at first was that this storm right here. This was up in I believe the Burnett, and looking at the where we're at Lukenbach, and I mean, we were focused on this storm, and those of y'all at home wondering, what are we looking at here? The top part of this is the radar, the reflectivity. So we're looking at pretty much how heavy is the precipitation falling. When we start seeing some of those pinks, then we switch to that bottom part of the radar where now we're looking at what's happening with that precip. Is it actually just raining? Or as you see that big old blob of white there, that's usually an indication that we got a hail core there. So that's where we see our hail. Now, this is not really so much measuring our size of the hail. It's just telling us that, hey, hail's falling here. You look at the storm that went through us on the west side here in San Antonio, and that bottom part of the radar, notice how we had that yellow in there. This is where now we start to see some of the higher tech type of radars that will see the size of the hail. They'll actually measure it. So that yellow in there was where we started seeing the ping pong ball size hail, the golf ball size hail. and we start seeing that, that's where we get into the severe category. So it's, we have this scale that, National Weather Service, the Storm Prediction Center, they provide us. And if you remember, we were talking about it where I think on that day before, we were in just only the level 1.
Right.
And then that morning, I think it was Monday morning, they put us in level 2. They expanded it. And even during the day, they expanded out west. So we were looking again, like Robert said, over into Del Rio, because we were thinking, come off those mountains and then it'll work its way this way. And then we just saw those little clusters, like, okay, we're probably not going to see too much fire, but then it was prime conditions.
And that's why you can never let your guard down. When
No.
there's a slight risk, and we say slight, that still means there's going to be scattered severe storms out there. So, chances are you probably won't be, but you have to act and prepare like you would be.
Right. And so let me ask you all this, guys. I mean, everybody was saying, well, we got a warning, but why weren't we alerted sooner? Why didn't we have a watch? Well, in this case, again, going back to that whole, it was very widely scattered. It wasn't something that was going to be a widespread event. You saw, we only had, I think, maybe those 2 storms. They were severe. So it's not enough coverage for storm prediction to justify a severe weather action. In fact, I think looking at the mesoscale discussion when they started firing up west of us, they only had an issue as chance of like 5% that they were going to issue a watch. So but they didn't say that there's possibility of these storms going severe. So it's just going to be very isolated in nature.
And it just happened to be in a populated area, right? San Antonio, West Side, and down through downtown, and then I think it ended up going to Converse and continuing on to Seguin. So I mean, it just hit a very populated area of town.
Yes. And
so a lot of people.
Now here's the thing. People have asked me in the past. My coworkers. I got a lot of hail last night, but they didn't say it was a severe thunderstorm. They said it was a storm. So why wasn't it severe? So again, we measure it based off of the size, once it reaches a certain size for hail, or if we have winds gusting over
60 miles,
58, 59 miles per hour, then that's where the National Weather Service makes the call and says, okay, based off of this, that's enough to issue a severe thunderstorm warning. And so this chart right here that we have on the screen, this is how we measure it. And so, we refer to, hey, if you're getting hail and you want to be safe if you go out and do it, but if you do, always don't, we love seeing it, in your hands, but in terms of measuring it, put it against something like a coin, or like, I think we had, a few segments back, the ruler, the key, the car keys, because that gives us a better idea as to what we're dealing with, because when we have to submit storm reports, they're not going to want us to say, oh, we're getting golf balls. I said, no, in this case, what is it? 1.5 inch diameter. So that's what we're looking at when it comes to the severe criteria. And again, it's in this case, we had that level 2. So we had that chance. Does it happen every time we have a level 2? No. There's times that we don't get storms at all.
And they yell at us about it. Like,
I mean, you know what? The atmosphere was ready for it to happen, but then we have something that stops it.
Mother Nature can be tricky,
Yeah.
and Mother Nature can work with us and cooperate with us, and hopefully cooperates with us Monday with the weather. But it's springtime, Mother Nature. We got the Gulf of Mexico
Wide open
not
now.
far away, and that moisture gets in here, and a disturbance comes out.
And a lot of these disturbances are coming in. They're coming in with these specific points that are coming in from the west. Well, that's drawing in Pacific moisture too. So we got a lot of combination. And again, going to Monday, we're looking at the possibility here. If you look at this map we have, that shaded yellow area is the probability of there could be some severe weather. Notice that it's not in our area at this point. It's more towards the northeast of And again, Texas Weather Connection. So we're making sure that we let y'all know, those y'all that are in the Dallas area, the Texarkana area. I would not even rule out north of Houston. Area. I mean, you're in that possibility that you could see some severe. And again, at this point, we'll fine tune it as we go along, but that starts to shift a little bit more.
And what's interesting, you look at that threat, it is severe potential, but Monday into Tuesday, now you're talking 2 days of rain. I looked at some of the computer models. Some of them are painting about 5 to 7 inches of rain in that area. So
we're seeing heavy rain.
So flooding could be an issue as well, not just severe weather.
Yeah, and that part of the state, they've actually had rain with regularity, so they're not in so much drought. So the rain that if it does fall quick enough, it can fall. Like we're here, we can handle a little bit here. We're still pretty.
We're still in that moderate to severe type drought. So we can definitely use some of that moving this way again for Monday. We're trying to make that as stressing that today. We don't want to rain Monday during the eclipse time, but after that we definitely use it. And what do you think, guys? I mean, let me ask y'all. Do you think we're gonna be able to avoid the rain on Monday for the eclipse?
I think time should be okay. Other than maybe a few sprinkles early in the morning, I think we'll be fine. But after eclipse time, as a warm front really works in, thermodynamics get involved, stability, a lot of meteorological factors. I think that afternoon into the evening, thunderstorms will be possible. But I think eclipse time we should be
good. It's this perfect time of the day to where we should be able to avoid it.
I was very excited when the models came out this morning, watching it.
Meteorologists not we're probably thinking the same thing. We're all just jumping for joy in that case. Like, cause you know what?
Well, you know, I was gonna tell you what's going on with it is they give you this total cloud cover map and it doesn't take into account what levels of clouds are coming. You're just talking about and the models they just take a broad look. So a lot of them are paying 98% cloud cover. Well, there's a 98% chance they're gonna be cloud cover there. That's what it's basically saying. You know, we can say that it's not gonna be clear, you know, that's a given. But can we see through opaque, high level clouds? Yes. Can we see if the low level clouds hold off? Absolutely. So we'll see how.
Is there going to be breaks in clouds? Is it going to be just a complete overcast, or are we going to have, out here, out there?
Which we normally see in springtime.
Exactly. So
Some good news there. So, otherwise, we got one more segment to go through.
Absolutely.
back on the eclipse.
We're on the eclipse weather forecast. We'll detail it for you one more time coming up.
Stay with us.
I don't know what to do. Who do I call?
Do you know what it's like to be injured and helpless? Do you appreciate it when someone does not accept responsibility for an accident that they caused? I don't. And I don't back down from a fight. I will not stand by and watch my client suffer, so nothing you can say or do will stop me from getting my client the money they deserve. I've taken on many cases like this one, and trust me when I say, you're no different. No more negotiating. My client will get compensated for their injuries so they can get back to what matters most. Serious injuries require a serious lawyer. At Marco Crawford Law, we are serious about getting you justice.
Welcome back to the Texas Weather Connection here on Anthem Television, home of the Where's Cleto show. And I think they can see Cleto right there through those glasses.
I mean, I'm hoping I'm looking at the camera because you know what, with these eclipse glasses, I mean, you cannot see.
No joke.
No, I cannot see anything. So I'm hoping I'm looking at y'all. I'm hoping I'm looking at you. All right.
You know, I put out a statement, the Texas Department of Transportation, like, don't wear your Cleto glasses while you're driving.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I will admit, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just test that theory. I'm gonna go outside. I'm not gonna stand. I got behind the wheel. I was like, oh no, this is gonna end bad.
Let's be safe. We're talking about safety. There we go.
Don't get your toilet paper. Toilet paper. Towels, water. Hey, water up the gas.
yeah.
Fill up gas.
Fill up the gap.
I'm gonna put in my curbside order tonight. I'm gonna pack up for the weekend.
We're out of bread. I think they're out of bread already. And always go wash your car.
Oh, yeah. Well, the gasoline is definitely a thing because I've noticed, I don't know if you guys noticed, the prices are starting to pick up a little bit. Demand is increasing and supply is starting to decrease a little bit. So hopefully it doesn't get too crazy. Yeah.
It's like how's Mr. Burns? So they're big right now. So the gas station thing, like, yeah.
But yeah, so you guys are running out of time to get these glasses.
Yes.
I know a lot of places are handing them out now. The local library kind of ran out, but I know other places. If you order food at certain places like P. Terry's here in town and up in Austin, San Marcos area, they're giving glasses. So
and I know those that are going to be like with Northside. I know that Northside is providing the glasses at school. So if you're at on Monday, you'll be getting those glasses.
Glasses until those swelling happens, until we have the moon covering the entire sun. That's when you can take off the glasses and be safe. And get some serious eye damage.
It only takes literally a couple seconds, and it's already too late. You won't notice it right away, but then next morning, later that day, you're gonna wonder why can't what's going on? What's wrong?
Why do I see dots?
Yes. And that's where, again, it's been burning for that little split time that you were without these glasses.
So let's talk about that again, that it has to have the
Yes.
ISO labeling on there. The number 12312-2.
Hold that up to the camera.
So that way, that you guys get the correct ones, because I'm sure there's gonna be scammers out there selling knockoffs, and you can afford to do that.
So make sure that you're getting the right ones to look at it, because again, don't just take any glasses for granted that it's
just sunglasses.
no, don't use, because those will not protect
Now, you can
us.
use a welding helmet,
It's a lot easier to see everything, and it's really nice than wearing these glasses.
And you know what I was gonna talk to you, Brandon, is, north side is going to school, northeast is going to school, and they're not in the path of totality. So those kids and teachers out there, you cannot take off your glasses
No,
at any
not at all.
point.
No. I mean, and again, even with the north side though, you got some schools that are big line of totality, like John Jay Holmes. So you're only gonna have literally maybe a half a minute, if anything, to be able to take off those glasses and then put them back, put them right back on. Whereas schools further west, further northwest, looking at like Brennan, Connor, then you'll have a few extra more minutes that you will be able to take off those glasses and enjoy it before.
And I mean,
Yeah,
as
put
soon
it
as
back on.
the sun starts to come back out, you
Yes.
need to put it back on.
Yes, you cannot wait.
That time has gone through, and we're back into the partial eclipse that's happening. So let's talk about Del Rio. A lot of festivals going on. My family and friends, they're all enjoying.
So you're gonna be out
There's a festival. I'll be
there.
heading out there. I'm probably now heading there on Sunday because my daughter plays softball tomorrow. So family time first, and then go enjoy some eclipse.
And then fighting traffic.
And fighting traffic. I'm gonna be-
You're gonna have a good 3 minutes and 26 seconds out there, in Del Rio. So again, you go a little bit further on the western part of Del Rio compared to the eastern part, like by Laughlin, it's gonna be.
And let's take a look at Kerrville. I mean, they're gonna get almost 4.5 minutes of totality. Everybody's going out there.
That's why they're right.
And I mean, again, it's gonna be traffic jams. So if you're gonna make plans to go out to the hill country or go out west towards the Hondo area, towards the Uvalde area, make plans ahead of time. Okay, don't wait for the very last minute. Yes. And if you're traveling, because who knows,
Those little towns, small towns may not have that gas.
they're not used to this influx of so many people going over into their areas, and not just for Monday, they might be staying there Sunday. So plan ahead, make sure that you're prepared to be able to make it back to your destination.
And it's a big role, because if it's gonna show that it's clear towards Del Rio,
More
and
people are gonna flock.
more people are gonna start heading in that direction as we go into Saturday night, Sunday, to be there, because it's gonna be clear in certain areas.
Now, going up to Austin again, you're gonna have less time up there in the totality. We're looking at about 1 minute and 44 seconds downtown. So again, eastern part, like Kerrville, then west, again, Clear Park. Leander's out towards the west, so you'll have a little bit more time. But again, we're hoping that these clouds, are good enough to where we don't have complete coverage.
So let's talk a little bit about like what happens during totality, right? We know that the moon shadow comes into the earth, so that causes a temperature drop, right? And one of the things that I was talking to a couple meteorologists is, well, the temperature that actually slows down convection, so maybe that would help with the clearing as well. So we'll see. There's always a little bit of a delay, obviously, between
But any bit.
But what's gonna be very interesting is like, you have that temperature going up, and then here's that dip, and it goes back up, and we saw that dip in October.
Yeah.
And that was still only 99%.
We're talking about totality. So
We may not lose as much just because we may be the more humid air,
Yeah.
as opposed to in October, we had slightly drier, cooler air.
Mhm. But yeah, temperature drop, and then of course when we're talking about the animals. Sometimes the nighttime animals come out. They think it's nighttime, so you hear crickets coming out, and
one thing to be interested in is the rate, because in the evenings is when the bats come out. You know, the sun starts going down. So they have these confused. And I was like, and everybody that's out there was going, whoa, what's going on?
And there's a big cave out by Frankfurt. I took my wife out there when we were dating several years ago, but it's a beautiful area. Just I think it's on 290. I can't remember the name of it, but it's an awesome back cave area. So maybe some folks can enjoy that while they're out there watching the eclipse.
So if you get closer to Fredericksburg, they are going to be in that area where it's going to last close to that 4.5 minutes. 4 minutes, 26 seconds is where it's going to last the longest, right along the line, right near the airport in Eagle Pass, almost to the Concan, Lakey, right through Garner Park, and then heading up right through the Kerrville area.
Yes.
And again, I mean, looking at San Antonio, downtown San Antonio, we're not in the totality path. You know, again, the west side, the northwest side, then now you're looking at a few minutes maybe, you know, but other than that, let's take a look at that 7-day forecast because again, everybody's wondering what's going to go on the next couple of days here leading into Monday.
So
And,
tomorrow,
tomorrow's going to be nice again. We're going to be looking at some temps in the low to mid 80s and across, depending on, you know, further west you go, Del Rio area, we're going to be a little bit warmer.
Yeah, but we will see cloud cover a little bit
Yes.
tomorrow. So the air show is going to be going on.
Yeah.
A lot will depend on the ceilings, but I think it'll be okay to get out there. So some folks are going to be going out.
and this morning we were closer to 50 degrees. There's some areas of lower 50s, a little chill in the air.
That's
But
going away.
tomorrow morning, it's going to be a little more humid. You'll notice that humidity, but still a beautiful day. Now let's head into Sunday.
So Sunday again, kind of getting that those clouds kind of settling in again. It's not going to be complete cloud cover at this point, you know, but we'll see how the weather plays.
You know, there's going to be a little bit of a weak front coming through, so the dry air should be nice for
Yeah.
anyone going out for the Valero Texas Open final round, and then of course the air show that's going on. I think Sunday is definitely the better of the 2 days. It'll be a little bit more comfortable.
Now the all-important Monday, Eclipse Monday.
No, so we even put on their fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Mother Nature. Yeah. Anybody have the what is the rain dance or whatever it is? Let's do what's the opposite of that because anytime you do that, it doesn't work anyway. So we just have to do that.
We'll get Nathaniel's favorite. Niosa, rain.
Yes, there we go. There we go.
And then we're going to talk about showers and thunder developing later in this week, and given the time of the year, we're going to start talking about the chances of severe thunder, possibly scattered, strong to possibly severe on probably Tuesday into Wednesday.
And we'll look at again that severe threat again was focused more on Northeast Texas and then shifting down towards the Houston area. But as we've seen the last few weeks, you know, we can end up on that southern edge. So we're going to keep an eye on that because it could be something that maybe we might see 1 or 2 storms that could reach those severe limits.
Yeah.
So
now the good thing is it's spitting out some rainfall amounts around an inch, so we could definitely use an inch of rain.
I will say that my yard is actually green with weeds, but it's green. So I'll take it.
Green works.
And then we'll just keep, you know, seeing how the rest of the week plays out. We should be able to start drying out probably on Thursday or so.
Yeah. And to get back to the cool regime, not as cool, but still comfortable. And then
It'll take those 58. I think they were looking for.
Well, you know, these days are over there.
People by then are already getting ready on Thursday night, a little bit Thursday night, but Friday night is the beginning of the Poteet Strawberry Festival. So they're looking good weather. Right now, it's going to be great.
We're, of course, long range. We'll keep an eye on it because we know how quickly things can change.
And we know there's going to be a lot of events that, you know, Fiesta starting up, you know, Fiesta, the carnival goes on, and then, you know.
Specific weather forecast for you as we get back.
Yes, and I think you're going to be down there for the Poteet Strawberry. So don't find Robert out there. If it's raining on the Poteet Strawberry, you can get him out of here.
But I do want to get back to Monday, the eclipse thing, because again, the south part of San Antonio is not going to be in the path of totality. So I do see a lot of those people that live in the south part of town
Hopping on the highway.
coming north, and that's the part that's going to create some issues, some traffic issues.
Yes, those anywhere from Leon Valley to even like north of Alamo Heights, where we're going to talk them to Pelotas, to out here in the Dominion area. I mean, it's going to be crowded. Again, like you said, those that are going to wait last minute, you're going to see the influx of drivers out there.
And you know, like Helotes is probably one of the, I guess, longest times in Barrett County that you can witness the eclipse. So I think they're looking at 2 minutes and 40 seconds, something like that. So that's a great area to try to
I know even like the government state area out there, that might be something that's probably gonna be pretty busy too. So make plans, plan accordingly.
And arrive early, you know, rushing and trying to see it from your car, vehicle, and
Yes.
driving at the same
Don't
time.
try and be doing this.
Yeah.
And no, don't do this. It's not late.
Yeah.
So.
There's a lot of people going to be doing driving, and there's a lot of people from out of town that are going to be new to the roads and trying to get to their exact locations.
Now, the good news is I did hear that the National Guard is going to be helping with population control. And, I mean, Kerrville with 30,000 people is expected to have 500,000 people there this weekend. So, yeah, they're going to help out with traffic control. So that's the good news. But still, I would plan for patience. You know, and have your patience.
Some drinks, a lot of water, because if you're going to need
yeah.
a cloud cover, you've got to hydrate properly.
Absolutely.
You're going to be out there, and if the sun comes out for any long period of time, sunblock, another one.
Oh, yeah. Especially if you're going out to the air show or the Texas Bolero, where there's not, you know, you're out there in the open. Not a lot of trees out in the air. But, yeah, you got to plan, prepare, and probably go online and just see what, you know.
Otherwise, you're ready for the eclipse.
Ready for the eclipse?
Right.
Ready for the eclipse. I've been
Up.
waiting for this for a long time. This is something that doesn't happen too often, and Mother Nature and our celestial skies are going to be beautiful. Go out and enjoy it. We're going to have some great weather for you. We can't wait to have it. But catch us on the next Expected Weather Connection here on
Anthem
TV.
We'll get it right next.
Anthem TV, a free streaming digital community. With a click of a mouse or a tap on your phone, you have instant access to free TV shows, movies on demand, music, pay-per-view events, and so much more. Download Anthem TV on your smartphone, smart TV, or any streaming device and enjoy instant access. Subscribe and download Anthem TV today.